America's schools are in big trouble. Who will teach your children? Find out what it's like to be a teacher in NBC News White Paper.
Next. This is NBC News Digest. Here is Chuck Scarborough, NBC News.
Good evening. President Reagan's condition is described as excellent following his prostate surgery today. No sign of cancer is reported. Investigators hope engine recorder tapes will explain why an Amtrak passenger train collided with 3 Conrail engines near Baltimore yesterday. They say the Amtrak engineer had no time to react. The death toll stands at 15. The Senate Intelligence Committee refused the president's request to release the report of its Iran-Contra deal investigation. Senate Democratic leader Robert Byrd called it incomplete. On Wall Street, the Dow Jones Industrial Average jumped 44 points to a new record of 1971. I'm Chuck Scarborough in New York. More news later on this NBC station.
Now at Rack's, get a large roast beef sandwich for only $1, save 79 cents.
Rack's, fast food with style. Maybe it's your style.
WCMH-TV urges you to just say no to drugs.
Good evening, I'm Mona Scott. Newswatch for Columbus. At 11, we'll have a live talk back with a Columbus school official. Does the NBC special report you're about to see give an accurate picture of the school system here? We'll talk with OSU Athletic Director Rick Bay on the permission he gave Coach Earl Bruce to talk with the University of Arizona. Council President Jerry Hammond denies the charges made against him by Mayor Buck Reinhardt. An Egyptian has taken a 10-year-old boy hostage at the airport in Dallas.
McDonald's is throwing a New Year's party for Big Mac. Of course, we can't completely show the guest of honor on TV because that could cause an outbreak of Big Mac attacks. But I can show you the special price. Just 99 cents. Imagine a hot Big Mac for just 99 cents. Oh, can't we just take a peek at our guest of honor? Oh, there are those 2 mouth-watering all-beef patties, the special sauce, party pickle. Something gives me the feeling this party won't last long.
Donahue, weekday mornings at 9, here on Channel 4.
This is the NBC Television Network. Come home to NBC.
I'm Tom Brokaw. By the time these kids graduate, they will have spent 15,000 hours in school. One of the most important jobs that we offer any member of our society is to prepare these kids for their future, and yet so few of us have any idea of what really goes on with a teacher. Well, tonight we'll go back to school. We'll hear teachers. We'll hear what they have to say about their job, about their futures. We'll show you what it's like to be a teacher.
It's trial and error. So get started on this now.
All right.
IBM is pleased to sponsor NBC's White Paper, To Be a Teacher. We hope that this program will provide new insight into a subject important to us all.
A tiger has black stripes. A tiger has a brown nose. We saw a rhinoceros.
Kindergartners across the country are reading as much as 2 grade levels above the national average because of an IBM learning program called Writing to Read. Using personal computers and other tools, it helps them convert sounds they can say,
See the word pig,
into sounds they can write and read.
A frog eats insects. A frog eats bugs.
I've been involved in a lot of innovative programs. This is the first one that I feel will stay forever. I think Writing to Read is here to stay.
I see a tiger. A tiger sees me. Tigers live in the sea. The end.
To learn more about Writing to Read, write IBM, Box 446, Montvale, New Jersey.
I'm putting a half into a function. A function's a machine, and it's going to mix up a half, and it's going to throw out something, an output, right? When I put the domain in, I got to get the range out. So if I put any number between -1 and 1 in here, the only answer I could possibly get is going to be between 0 and pi. I can get other answers, but those are the only answers I want, right? Okay? So if I put a half in to the inverse cosine, what's going to come out?
But it could be
What do
any
you get
number
from
between
murder
0
on
and
TV?
pi.
What?
Any number between 0 and pi.
Any number between 0 and pi. Did he say that?
Yeah.
Say a little louder.
Yeah, but I didn't think there was just like one answer.
You've got to like the kids. If you don't like the kids, then you can't teach. And that's the truth. You've got to like them. You know, if you don't like kids, then you really shouldn't be in teaching. You should find something else to do.
Why? Because it's the only way we're going to get an inverse, right? If we have this is the cosine curve, all right? It passes the vertical line test, but it can't pass the horizontal line test. So in order to have an inverse function, we got to make it. So we take a piece of it, right?
I'm thinking about how long I'm going to stay in it. I mean, how long am I going to be happy in it? That's what scares me. You know, is there going to come a point where I'm just going to say, I just don't like it anymore?
Each teacher teaches 5 classes a day, has 1 duty, 1 conference period, and 1 lunch period. This is part of it, yeah. Everybody has duties, hall duties, bus duties, cafeteria duties. 6 teachers in the cafeteria. We have cafeteria duty all year. You're asking me to describe what I do. I mean, you know, they asked Mickey Mantle how he hits the baseball. He said, I don't know. They throw it and I hit it. You know, that's, I don't know how I do it. It's just something that I do.
Sleeping over whose house, though?
Why is this on the bottom?
Sometimes they change it around, Jess, you know. If they made it all the same, it'd be easy. One of the things that made me decide to be a teacher is the play by Robert Bolt, A Man for All Seasons, when Rich wants a job and Thomas says, don't be a teacher. And Rich says, well, you know, why should I be a teacher? Who's going to know it? He says, well, your friends will know it, your family will know it, your students will know it, and God will know it. And that's not a bad audience. And I think, you know, for me and for other people, I know Doc and Brent, that's basically, I mean, our families know we're good teachers. Our friends know we're good teachers. Our students may not admit it, but they know we're good.
What about that old saw that those who can do and those who can't teach?
Okay, I think teaching is doing. And if they can't do somewhere else, they can't really do it in teaching either. I would tend to think that person who can't do it somewhere else.
You think society respects you?
Yes, yes. Maybe not as much as they used to, but I think it's there.
Why is that, do you think?
I don't know.
Make you
think about that. Just because you can do doesn't mean you can teach either. I think it is another skill.
You're a salesman out there. Think about it. Math is not the most exciting thing when you're trying to teach it to a lower level. I mean, you've got to get up there, trick them into thinking they're having fun in the class. You have maybe 30 kids these days in this school, talking to class 25 to 32. All those personalities in one room, try to keep them all seated there and try to mix your own personality in there and sell your subject to them. And make them think they're having fun and they understand it. One student doesn't understand it and the next 29 do. How do you hold that? I mean, how do you still give that kid a fair shake and keep the rest of them interested in what's going on?
Hey, Joe, what's happening? You gonna let Dave do them first and then you do them?
No, let's do set D.
Set D. Joe, if some of these people were eliminated from here, some of these students that don't want to be here. Joe, sit down. You know, if somebody like Joe wasn't here, then I could probably work a lot faster with the rest of them. But, you know, Joe's here and Joe and I get along and Joe's happy and I'm not happy because there's some people in here that I should be giving more attention to. 6 cancels out and T equals 6 into 78. Okay?
Same thing as yesterday, right?
Right. That's what I said.
All that, you just multiply that and divide by that.
Joe, you're so smart. I went to college to be a math teacher. You know, after I graduated high school, I could teach general math. And I want to teach functions and trigonometry, and I want to teach math. This is part of the job. I think you have to just be patient to be a general math teacher. I mean, just look at them. You have to really want to help them. It's like the Woody Allen. He talks about his brother goes to the psychiatrist, and because his brother thinks he's a chicken, and the psychiatrist says, you can't be a chicken. You have to stop being a chicken. He says, I'd like to, doc, but I need the eggs. And, that's what it's like. It just gets in your blood, and you really want to try to help.
I look around the school, and everybody is in snappy Reeboks, and they work hard on their wardrobe. Here's Mr. Stanziano. He's got his blue button-down shirt and his tie on every day.
Every day.
Combs his hair not like any other member. In the nicest possible way, he's a real square. He's got real good values, and and yet he's a really important influence in your life. But he's different than almost anybody you see walking out of that hallway, right?
Yeah, definitely is different. I don't think it's as much as what he wears, or, all right, I might try to look, like today, I knew you guys were coming in, so of course I wore a skirt and everything like that, because I wanted to look good. But it's not so much looking up to him because of what he wears, it's because of what he knows and what he loves what he does, and he tries to bring that into us and make us love what we want to do, which it helps out, you know.
Just at a time in your life when you need to hear
when
that.
I need that.
I mean, what good is all that on the board, you know, if you can't apply it to everyday life, you know? It's the same thing. It's just not math in here. You know, it's also, you know, being able to do it and apply it to your life, and that's why it's just not math, you know, it helps you with other things.
Every time I come in here and I'm really in a bad mood, he'll give us a lecture, and it's always what I'm thinking. It always happens like that.
Does he tell you all those corny jokes?
Yeah, a lot of corny jokes. It takes us about an hour to figure them out, and then afterwards, when we're at home, we figure them out. We're like, oh, that's what he meant.
Is that important?
Yeah, it makes learning fun.
How much of that do you think when you come into this classroom in the morning, do you think, I've got to get that stuff off the blackboard and into their minds, and how much do you think, I got to help get this kid through the day? Just get this young man or this young woman through the day as a human being.
I tell you the truth, it's, I got to get through the day. And if you give, you get back. So if I can get you through the day, it's helping me get through the day. And that's, I think, what really comes down. I mean, I have really bad days. And I get up in the morning and things are not going too good. And I just come in and I just say, I'm just going to do it.
You get worries at home about something in the family, or you're not feeling well, or you've got a bill that you may not get paid the way you'd like.
Bills.
Not just one.
One would be fine.
He started going to school the week we got married, as a matter of fact. So on our honeymoon, we went down the shore. We were coming up 2 nights a week so he could go to school. So up until, when did you graduate? It'll be 2 years ago, May? Yeah, 2 years ago, May, you graduated with your master's.
Yeah.
So for the 5 years, right, 5 years, the first 5 years we were married, he went to school at night to get his master's. It never bothered me. I knew they didn't make a lot of money. But I knew we were never going to have a lot. I guess I never really gave it much thought. That was just what he was, and that was fine. It was a respectable profession. The only thing is when my youngest sister went to go to was in college, and she said she wants to become a teacher, we said don't. Remember, Mary? We said, Mary, think about it, don't.
It would be a little bit easier in the classroom if I can give up this job, this part-time job. I mean, these people are good to me, and I like working here, but I'm tired. No use complaining, because I want to be a teacher. My wife and I want to have children, so this is what we have to do. My salary in Toms River, it comes to about $25,000 a year. And I have to support a family, 3 kids, 1 on the way. And how do I feel about that? You know, you only go through this life once, and if you can't do any good, then what good are you? So that's the way I feel about it, and that's why I went into it. And that's why I'm probably going to stay in it, hopefully.
Right now, this is what I want to do. I want to stay home with the kids. I want to be the one to be with them when they're sick. I want to be the one to teach them the things that Lenny and I believe in, and like this, I'd like to teach them to do. Right now, this is what I want. This is what we want. This is all in due time. I'll do something else and.
I follow like that. Teachers work, a lot of teachers have part-time. The thing that's really sad, though, is sometimes, not all the time, but the part-time job becomes more important than teaching for the money aspect. You start to lose perspective. I've seen that happen with a lot of people. Or the job that they have becomes their business, and they start to lose perspective.
I'm getting, it's getting to the point where I'll go home from working here and try to do some, look at the problems that I have to do the next day, and I'll fall asleep. Barbara turns the alarm on because she never knows where she's going to find me, on the couch. But the idea is that when I go home here, I have to correct that. No. It's my son's birthday today. Where am I? Just listen to me. If it's 3 and 2, and that's the root of 13, you want the secant. You've got the triangle. What's the secant? Chris, what's the secant? What? Don't look at that. Look at me. What's the secant? The secant is what? Should I be working another job? I mean, should teachers work another job? I mean, should a teacher's wife have to go out and work if they want to stay home? I mean, should they really have to do that? I mean, teaching it's not worth any money. It's not worth anything. I mean, the taxpayers want a great education. They want everything for their kids, but they don't want to pay for it. Why? I can never understand that.
Betty, can I have a cold case of Bud bottles, please? Yeah. Throwaways.
Computers? Who's got time to figure out how to use them?
That's how the owners of a clothing store, father and son, felt about personal computers, until they got one. And a manufacturer of umbrellas, until they got one. A lot of people in small businesses don't know all the things a computer can do. But once they see what an IBM PC can do, things like give them complete accounting information in seconds instead of days, simplify scheduling and billing, track inventory and monitor expenses quickly and easily in their own office, then some of the most skeptical become very enthusiastic. And that makes us at IBM very proud. We've got more computers helping more small businesses than anybody. IBM personal computers. Small business is getting big on them.
Speaking. It's one of the most natural things we do. It's also the basis of a remarkable research project at IBM. This is an experimental computer system that recognizes what I say. I talk, and my words appear on the computer screen. It has a business vocabulary of thousands of words, and it even knows the difference between words that sound alike but have different meanings. Watch this. Please write to Mrs. Wright right now. This computer system is another example of innovation at IBM. In fact, it's the most advanced voice recognition system of its kind, period.
Now, the process of inviting people to learn is part of helping them to develop their human potential, and it's very complex.
I was just going to say...
Mary Ellen Mong is 21 years old, a senior at Georgian Court College in Lakewood, New Jersey. It's a small Catholic institution which for years has enjoyed a reputation for turning out fine teachers. Mary Ellen wants to be a special education teacher. Her roommate, Andrea Geddick, wants to teach math. They are among the very few who are going into teaching these days. Enrollment is down everywhere, and a serious teacher shortage has been predicted, particularly a shortage of good teachers. Teaching now ranks 22nd out of 26 chosen careers.
Go over the 4s and then briefly go over the 3s and the 2s.
Good morning, Sister Peter.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
I'd like Mr. Brokaw to see one of our basic classes, and this is Chem what?
Principles of chemical equilibrium.
And part of our liberal arts background, all our students must have science work.
Yeah, this is a fundamental course in sciences, right?
That is correct.
And the students who are in here are generally interested in a science curriculum of some kind?
Yes, that is.
And how many are interested in teaching? Not one.
We have 3 sections.
That's right, we do. We have, this course is primarily for the people intending to major in the sciences, and then we have another introductory course that I think would go more for the students of education. It's taught from a different standpoint. rather than a different level.
Yeah, but now, sister, these are good science students.
They're very good science
and
students.
or they wouldn't be in here, right?
That's right.
And they have an active interest in science, right?
Very active interest.
But why aren't we getting science teachers out of these kinds of classrooms?
Well, I think they have a lot of competition in what is offered to them in industrial and medical careers, and I think this is the answer.
You spent most of your life teaching.
Yes, I have.
Don't you say to them?
Yes, I do.
But not without any success in here so far.
Well, we do have some in the major areas. I think this class just happens to be deplete, but that is not the whole story.
But there's a problem, isn't there?
There is a problem. You are correct.
In the sciences especially.
I think so.
Well, let's see what they think about it. All right. How come? I mean, you all like science, right? You're all interested in this as a curriculum, but you don't want to teach it. Look at that. All those heads going back. Why not? Money? Is that the big factor? You just don't earn enough money.
I've considered it. Yeah. I consider it off and on, and I give them credit. It's an important job. You have to get a great deal of information across to young students who are going to go out and do things in this world. It's, your teaching that's going to make the scientists and other professions. So I think it's important. I give them credit.
But the money and the hassle is not worth it to you.
The money and the hassle mostly, because I enjoyed the sciences, and there's a great deal to learn, and if the students didn't really want that, I would find it very frustrating.
It shouldn't be that bad, but it might be.
No, it won't. No, it won't.
What if she says, I want you to take this risk?
She won't do that. Karen will listen to how you feel.
Oh, yeah.
Mary Ellen has been assigned to the Laura Donovan Elementary School in nearby Freehold, New Jersey. It's a special education class taught by Karen Stilts.
How old were you in 1775, Danny?
I wasn't on the earth.
You weren't on the earth yet. How old was your father in 1775, Danny?
They till above.
Still above?
Yeah.
So in other words, can anybody that you know tell you a story about the American Revolution firsthand? Can anybody tell you?
No way.
No.
So many people tried to talk me out of teaching. I graduated college kind of in the forefront of women's liberation, where if you were going to be a secretary or nurse or a teacher, you were deserting the cause. And I had a lot of peer pressure to go into something that was a male, traditional-oriented profession, to try to forge the way.
What was that very famous? Oh, I see one brave hand, two brave hands. Brian.
The Declaration of Independence.
Declaration of Independence. Okay, here comes the tricky part. Was signed when? I want the date, the month, the day, and the year. Danny.
July 4th, 1776.
Do you have children?
No.
If you had children, would you want them to be teachers?
No, but if I had children, I wouldn't be a teacher. I couldn't do this all day and go home to my own. I don't know. I know a lot of women do, and I have tremendous respect for them, but I couldn't do it.
You give all that you have to give to children right here.
It's emotionally draining. It's emotionally rewarding. It's also emotionally draining. And it's funny, people talk about the paperwork they bring home. I bring home more that I think about them, and I dream about them, and my husband tells me I talk in my sleep about them, and just the emotional involvement that you have, I think sometimes is more weighing on you than 3 hours of paperwork or those kinds of things.
You ready?
I taught regular elementary for 4 years. And what I find with this is they're more like a family, because I'll have the same children 3 or 4 years. And you get very involved with them. You get very involved with their progress, with their families. And I enjoy that.
He's been in my desk a few times without me.
Well, can you tell me why he's been in your desk? Has it been reasonable?
Mrs. Mom tells me to put something in my desk. When I put it in, he'll take it back out. When I sat here, tipping a little bit, he put his foot down on my chair and made me go down. and you guys...
Come here. Maybe this is why everybody's in such a bad mood today. What's the matter?
Brian, every day, Brian goes,
Brian needs quiet to do his work, Andy, and if he's asking you, it's because... Oh, you're not listening to me. Let me finish my sentence. Just being in the cubby.
How come I can hear you? I'm better friends with him.
Oh, my goodness. Let's get organized here. What do you need? Nothing. Raymond, what do you need? Have a seat. Mrs. Moffat and Miss Mon, could you take everybody but these two guys to the computer room, please?
I'm Andy. Oh, he's brilliant.
Take your lunches.
Yeah.
Now that we have peace and quiet. Brian, what's going on? Tell me your side of the story.
All I want to do is I want to sit here and do my work quietly. Without hearing squeaky chairs going back and forth like this, and Raymond and Andy whispering in the cubbies.
Do you think they're deliberately trying to get you angry? Is Andy rocking on his chair because, aha, I'm gonna make Brian mad today? Is this what he's doing? What do you think? What do you think? I want your opinion. Do you think Andy would do that?
I don't have any idea.
Has he ever done it before?
Once. Just for a little while.
On purpose?
I don't know.
I'm asking you, would he do that to you on purpose?
No.
No, I don't think Andy would. Now, as much as you need to tip and as much as that's a habit, Brian also needs a lot of quiet to do his work.
Yes.
You've got to understand that about each other. If it's a problem, I understand that that might be a problem because of the way you need to do your work, that it's going to be a problem, that we might have to move you.
That's why I was thinking of me by Raymond, because we're always helping each other with
Right, you
work.
sat by Raymond before and it was fine. But Brian and Raymond wanted to switch, to be in the front and the back of the room. Would that be better, Brian?
Yeah, sure. I guess I'll try it.
You want to try it, or do you want to take lunchtime to think about it? All right, why don't you guys think about it and give me a definite answer after lunch.
Okay.
And we'll move the desks. And just remember, you guys have been good friends.
Yes.
Don't let little things like that ruin a good friendship, especially when we can solve them so easily.
And here's your pen.
Thank you. And you have to learn to organize your time, to condense as much as you can so it doesn't become overwhelming. You know, there's nights where you're sitting here at 5:30, 6 o'clock really discouraged because you still can't see over the pile and you've been working nonstop since they left at 2:30. Yeah. And you don't think it's ever going to end.
There's so much to learn. You wouldn't believe how much there is to learn. It's so much organization. I don't know how she does it. Can you go a semester without sleep? There's a pile of papers this big at the end of the day for me to correct. Well, she showed me, how she corrects it and what she looks for and what she expects and stuff. So that's what we did. I didn't leave there until 4 o'clock, and then you can
Miss
correct
Mom,
I
I need some help on, is this best?
We're preparing children to be functional in society. And my attitude, especially working with learning disabled, for every child who can leave this room and be literate, feel good about themselves, have the confidence to go and get a good job and be self-supportive, is one less person in the welfare rolls, is one less person collecting unemployment, is one less person who might choose less than optimal social situations, because they'll have the confidence and they'll have the ability and they'll have the skills. And I look at school as where that starts. It's so very important. You have to be literate in this society in order to really be able to tackle the challenges that life brings to you.
Which was your hardest one?
I kind of formed that opinion out of anger for a lot of the negative attitudes I was getting of being only a teacher. I really feel that schools are taken for granted. Schools have been something that mandated by law for a long time, to the point where I think people just expect them to exist.
That's not myself, because I'm already done.
This NBC News White Paper will continue in a moment.
IBM's continuing commitment to education includes many innovative programs at schools and colleges throughout the country. Tonight, IBM is pleased to sponsor To Be a Teacher.
Students are always going places. Now there's a powerful computer that can go with them, the IBM PC Convertible. It goes from chemistry to economics, from ancient civilization to modern civilization. The IBM PC Convertible is a smart gift because students can carry an IBM computer anywhere, even into the future. Heart surgery. Before it can be performed, doctors need vital information. X-ray films tell them a lot, but they could tell them even more. That's why at an IBM scientific center in Winchester, England, computer researchers and doctors are working together to transform the conventional X-ray into something remarkable. A three-dimensional computer model of a patient's arteries. This IBM technology is also being used to create a computer model of a patient's beating heart. This experimental project is an example of innovation at IBM. And one day, it could be another way computers help doctors save lives. At first, IBM electric typewriters made typing easier. Then we improved the way typing looked and revolutionized its touch and feel. IBM even fixed the way errors got fixed. Today, IBM wheel writers and quiet writers do things our old typewriters never dreamed of. They're faster, quieter. They have memory and can even signal